All right, I'm gonna take this moment of quiet right now in between whatever the heck is going on outside to hopefully get this video filmed. So we are here to do my 1 in, 1 out video today. If you saw my makeup goals video, I was sort of doing a check-in on what my goals were for last year, what I was gonna do for this year, and one of the things was to try to do a 1 in, 1 out if I purchase new things. And so really I'm just looking to kind of keep around the amount of makeup that I currently have. Nope, that lasted about 20 seconds. Sorry y'all, we're just gonna keep we're just gonna keep on going. I hope that this isn't too disturbing in the audio of this video, but I'm really just looking not to keep growing my collection so much. So if there is something that tempts me enough to want to purchase it and I want it in my collection, it means that I need to get rid of something, let go of something into the universe. And so that's gonna be what we're doing today. I'm gonna go over the things that I've purchased recently and then tell you what I am replacing them with, or what is replacing them? What they are replacing. There we go, what they are replacing. So I have decided that for the most part, when I am given things in PR, or if I am gifted things by brands, those aren't gonna count, especially when it's not something that I picked out myself. But other than that, I am going to try to stick with this. So if you see me get something and I don't do a 1 in, 1 out on it, call me out down in the comments, because I'm trying to think of some of the purchases that I've made recently and I think I'm doing well. Now, the one thing that is not going to be included in this as far as like makeup products is single eyeshadows, because that would be a lot. That would be a lot to do. And at some point, while I should probably do a little like single eyeshadow declutter, it's just not something I have room for in my heart right now. So maybe at some point, but as far as everything else, I think it's like fair game. So if there's something that you're like, but Kelly, don't you remember you purchased such and such? Call me out and I'll make sure to do it in a 1 in, 1 out in the future. Oh, amongst all the chaos, if we haven't met before, my name's Kelly. I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, back into the melee. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go over the things that I've purchased recently. A lot of which, by the way, I have on my Fiji today. So if you want to see how I got this makeup look, I will make sure to have that haul and try on video linked down below, and it'll probably be at the end on the end screen. Okay, so RMS. You had to know that I was going to be getting the new RMS shades that came out. I did get all 3 of the new shades. These are all featured in the video of what's on my Fiji today, because they're all here. They're all on my face. So that was 3 powders that I needed to get rid of. I was sort of trying to decide how I wanted to go about the Sydney Grace creams from my mystery bags, because it was like, okay, I didn't know what I was getting in my mystery bags, right? But I did end up getting quite a few creams. I think I got 2 bronzers, 3 highlighters, and 3 blushes. Now, one of the highlighters I'm gifting to a friend, so that is not going to be staying in my collection, but I think everything else I will be keeping. I did also get 1 single cream blush in that set that I picked out myself on the creams discount day. Oh, I'm just realizing I need to go through my single / cream eyeshadows to figure out something to get rid of, because I did pick up 2 of those. Oh, 1 I'm not keeping though. So just 1. Just 1, because that's also going to my friend Jody, Jodyology on Instagram, because I think that Jody will just look beautiful in those cool tones, and so I'm going to be sending that along to her. You probably saw the swatchgate, if you will, in my previous Sydney Grace haul, where I was like, this looks nothing like what I had wanted it to be, but I think it's gonna look great on her. Okay, I totally just got off track. I have everything laid out here in front of me, and I think I just sort of got like alarmed and started spewing out information. So what I'm going to do is, rather than just like cream products and powder products, I'm just looking to get rid of some face products. So for sure, I need to get rid of not 3, but 4 things for the RMS blushes, because I did just get Mai Tai in a recent order as well. So that's 4 of the RMS blushes. So I need to get rid of 4 things for that. I also have my recent Salt New York items, and like repurchases or like restocks won't count. So I'm not going to count my Sneaky Balm, but the other 3 products that I got, I will need to count. And I was just hoping to get rid of a few things to make up for some of the Sydney Grace creams that were in my mystery bags. And let's start there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into a few of the blushes. Now, one of the blushes that I'm gonna get rid of is this Sleek Makeup blush. This is the shade Rose Gold. And so this is sort of a Nars Orgasm dupe. So the reason that I picked this one out is because I feel like RMS Bohemian Girl is a more refined, like, sophisticated version of that. So I have not used this Sleek blush in a really long time. I don't even know if the brand is still available. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. A couple of the others that I got out, funny enough, it is very similar to the RMS as well. So this Rosé Champagne shade, I do really like this from Wet n Wild, but honestly, this like packaging, it's just so fragile that it's not like I can really travel with it because I feel like these always bust. And this shade I feel like is actually kind of similar to Crystal Slipper. Let me see if I can pull that one up. I wasn't going in thinking of finding shade dupes, but I mean, look at this. Like, whoa, see? So I feel like these are definitely not like dupes, but similar-ish. And I far prefer the formula of this. This is lovely, but it's just not quite as refined. And I did enjoy this. I think this has actually been in some favorites. I don't even think you can get this color anymore, but for me, it was almost like a glowy powder with a little bit of beiginess to it. I did enjoy it, but it's just time to move on, and actually it is pretty old as well. So another one in the same formula, this is the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink. So I think that this was a pretty popular color. I just am like, you know what? I cannot remember the last time I got this out. So when I was talking about getting all of the RMS blushes, I was like, I know that I have shades in my collection that are maybe close to this, but the formula of the RMS Redimension blushes is just, it's so beautiful. It's like so elegant, just lovely. And, you know, even now as I like go over this powder from Wet n Wild, I just feel like it's like catching on my texture, and it's pretty. It's just, it's not something that I need to have. So I'm gonna go ahead and let go of both of those from Wet n Wild. I also have here, in fact, I think this was like in a Shop My Stash or like on the chopping block. This is See Me, Hear Me from MAC, and I just do not reach for this. It's pretty. It's actually a very beautiful shade. It's like this kind of cool toned mauve-y situation. I actually was going to see if Jody would like this because I think that it is a beautiful shade, and I think it'll work really nice on her skin. For some reason, I just don't use it. I don't pull it out. So I just was gonna check in with her and see if she would like this. I also have this shade from MD Glow. This is Dusty Rose. This is actually very pretty. It's just so pigmented that, you know, you really have to use a very light hand, and it is a more matte blush, which is just not something that I ever use very much. But for the price, these MD Glow products are actually really nice. I just have to go so lightly with it. So it's just not something that I've been reaching for, and I'm kind of like, all right, it's time to let this one go. I just think when it comes to powder products, there have been so many innovative formulations done in the last few years that you can get something that is, I'm gonna call it a skin finish, right? So it's not matte, but it's also not super glowy. Like something like this, like the MAC See Me, Hear Me, you know, something in that like almost like mineralized where it has just, it's not like chalky matte, but it's also not like super sheeny. That's as low glow as I want to go on my cheeks. So I think that, you know, getting rid of some of these formulas where either they are matte or they're like matte with a slight sparkle to them, and it always just shows as texture a little bit. That's something that I'm kind of like starting to get rid of in my collection. So I think that's it for powder products. Now for creams, I did try to go through and snag a few creams. Oh no, I do have another powder product. This is the Ofra highlighter in Pillow Talk. Honestly, I have the Samantha March one where it's the yellowy one and then the pink one together. And I think that it would take me forever. It would take me forever and ever to go through that little like duo. So I'm just like, I have not pulled this one out. I do really like the shade, but wow, to be able to go through this much highlighter, it would take me a very long time. So I'm just gonna let this one go. And Ofra is really not a brand that I really feature here on my channel anymore. So it might as well go to another home. I think that was it. I think that's the very last powder product. Okay, let's talk about some creams. So like I said, I was just sort of trying to do a combination of face products. So we will see how many I have here when we're all done. So for other products, I did pull out some creams, and I have this Kosas Velvet Melon Duo. Now, this looks beautiful. I just never grab for it. And it's starting to smell like old crayons, which makes me think that it's probably like gone the way of the dodo at this point. It is expired. Yeah, and it's like kind of tacky. It's kind of tacky, and I don't want that on my face. Like, I think that maybe this just was a tackier formula, and the glowy side of this, because this was the sort of like intense version, the glow on this is just too dark for my skin anyway, and it smells like old crayons, and I need a makeup wipe right now. So obviously this one is not going to anybody other than just right into the garbage. Other creams, so I have 2 bronzers, if you will. These are both items that I just either don't understand or don't like the texture of. I have this Undone Beauty. This is the water bronzer. This one, like, I want to like it, but it's just like, it's almost nothing. And I tried to get a little bit on my hand there, and it's just kind of like, it's sort of yellowy, yellow-orange, goldenrod, I don't know. And the texture of this, I think it would have to be a no makeup day where I just want a little bit of warmth on my skin, and that just doesn't happen very much. Like, it's very rare. Here we go again. It's very rare that I ever am like, oh, I care enough to want more color to my face, but I don't care enough to really put much on as far as like coverage. That just doesn't happen very often. The other product that I am going to send along to a friend is this little sample size, if you will, of the travel size, let's call it, of the Miracle Balm in Sunkissed. So this shade here is one of the bronzer shade. It is one that has, I think, a bit of sheen to it. I just am not reaching for these enough. And I have Tawny. I have slowly over time been sort of like one after the other letting go of my Miracle Balms that I got to try out. I got like a 4-pack around the holidays. I thought this was a great way to be able to try it. I'm definitely glad that that's the way that I decided to do it rather than get like one huge tub of this. So this is the shade Sunkissed, if you can see here. It, you know, it is nice, again, if you're just looking for a little bit of that color, but I just don't know where to fit this into my makeup life. Like, I just find that, again, it can be a little too sheeny for what I would usually like, especially for a bronzer, considering that I usually want bronzers in the summertime and my skin is already going to be a little bit sheeny. I will also say I don't care for the scent of these. It sort of has that like spa-like scent. It probably has rosemary in it because that's what it smells like, and I know that rosemary is a natural preservative, so I'm wondering if that's why that's in here. It's just not something I need. I think that the only one that I have left is the Tawny shade, because that to me is a total like blonzer moment, so that's just what I'm deciding on. I saw this in here, I'm like, you know what, you're still not using this, you might as well just get rid of it at this point. Okay, so how many face products is that, or like color slash, oh no, one more. This Josie Maran Argan Infinity Lip and Cheek Creamy Oil. I know that this is expired at this point. There's no way. Like, oh yeah, it's already separating. Okay, we're not even gonna try to get a swatch out of this one. So, go me getting rid of things in my collection that have been sitting there and just dying in my drawer. All right, so we have 10 color face products here in a mix of powders and creams, and that's fine to me. So we have the 4 RMS blushes that I needed to take care of, the 3 Salt New York products, so that's 7, and then we have 3 extras to make up for some of the Sydney Grace. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm honestly pretty happy with that. I do know that one thing that I want to do is do a declutter of my face palettes, but I'm going to save that for a video on its own, and hopefully, fingers crossed, some of those will be going away, and that's just kind of like leaving more room for these individual products, because I just find that that's what I grab for more. And again, like I said, the mystery bags, I don't necessarily think like I need to do a 1-for-1 with those. That would be really hard for me, but we do have some other things that we need to clear out in this, so let's move on to those. Let me know how you think I did. Am I being fair or am I cheating? I don't know. It's my game, it's my rules, so I guess I can change it as I go. All right, I did purchase these 2 Velveteen lip colors from Lisa Eldridge, so I do need to get rid of 2 lip products, and I went through my collection and I did pick out 2. I have this Ofra, what do they call these? The Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick. This is the shade Cancun. So this shade Cancun is a really nice, like, bright, almost purpley pink. And then I also picked out this ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Choker. You know what? I might as well just swatch these. Part of the reason that I picked Choker out is the fact that it's like, it's so light that I just can't see myself wearing this one. I also know I've had this one for a very long time and it's probably expired at this point. The Ofra one, again, Ofra is not really a brand that I use, and I saw that I do have a Nars like long wear lip product that is almost a dead ringer for this shade. So I figured I don't need two of them. I've barely been using one of them, so two I don't need. So here are the two lip products that I'm replacing. I think that it's a good choice to get rid of both of these. Like I said, I haven't really been reaching for either of them lately, and it's definitely time to clear up some space in my collection. So those will go as well. All right, for eyeshadows. So I got quite a few palettes. I got quite a few palettes in the Sydney Gray sale. I picked up Love's Journey. I also got Where the Wild Things Are, and then also the Summer Days palette. So I need to get rid of 3 eyeshadow palettes. So this first one is one that I haven't even touched. I think I got this in potentially my, let's see, it might have been in my lucky bag from Beautylish this year. And this is the Viseart Petit Four Garnet. So this is of course a little 4-pan quad, and you know what? I just don't reach for 4 pans. So I've decided that it would definitely be worth either, like I said, I haven't even pulled this one out. I think I'm either gonna put it in a giveaway or end up putting it up on Mercari or Poshmark or one of those things. So it's just like, yeah, you haven't touched this yet, you might as well let it go. Okay, the other one, and you might be kind of surprised. Honey, I'm gonna do it, y'all. I'm gonna get rid of this. It makes me a little bit sad, but the thing of it is the last couple times I used this palette, I was just sort of underwhelmed. You know, like I like the color story, but there isn't a lot of depth. There isn't a lot of contrast in this, and I just need more. Like the mattes were just kind of like, for me. The shimmers are okay. I do think that I'll probably like miss getting to have fun with this glitter shade in the middle, but it's just not worth keeping. I mean, I really loved this palette, but I do remember that if I wanted the yellows to be like yellow, I really had to work at it, even like use like a base color. So it's just not something that I need in my life anymore. You know, it definitely served its purpose. I just am not reaching for it anymore. I have the Citronata palette from Glam Shop, and that one just is, it just gives me a little bit more something. And I think that's why I pulled it out into my Shop My Stash for this season. I think I was talking about that in my palette declutter perhaps. And you know, this one just isn't making my heart sing anymore. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. This other one, this is kind of hard. This is kind of hard for me. If you saw my top 10 Basic B palettes video, you saw that this Wet n Wild Coffee Cat palette came apart. And I just know myself. The fact that this is just not going back on, I just know that it's either going to end up getting destroyed in my drawer, or I just won't ever reach for it. And while this was such a great deal for the money, I have all of these shades in my collection. I know that I definitely do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this one out on my vanity to just use this week to kind of have fun with, remember it, and then I'm just going to get rid of it. Like, there's no way that I'm going to like fix this. It's not worth trying to depot. So it's just time for it to go. I mean, it is honestly at this point, it's got to be 3 years old, because I was over at the other side of the house when I first talked about this on my channel. So, you know, we had a good run. We had a good run, Coffee Cat, but I think it's just time to let this one go. So that would be, that would be 3 palettes. See, just about broke it again. So I think that that was a good choice. All right. I think that's it. Oh no, I said that I was gonna get rid of a cream. Okay, hold on just a sec. All right, now I just had to pick out one cream shadow for the one that I purchased in the Sydney Gray sale. I obviously, like I said, I did get 2, but I'm sending one along, so it won't be in my collection. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the plug on this Stila Glisten and Glow. Is this one of the Glisten and Glows or the Glitter and Glow? Glitter and Glow in Smoky Storm. It just isn't that often that I want like, this looks like actual glitter on your eye. You know, it's like bigger, chunky, and that just isn't something that I go for all that much. If I do, it's honestly like I want something with a little bit more pop to it. So I think I'm just gonna let this one go. Honestly, this one is so old that at this point I probably shouldn't be wearing it anyway. So maybe this is good. Maybe this is making me go through my collection and be like, Kelly, just get rid of this once and for all. Like, you're causing yourself some potential danger. All right. So I think that that is it. I am really trying to think if there were any other like makeup purchases that I've made recently, but I think that for the most part, that is it. If there's something that I missed, I'm sure that I will be talking about it in an upcoming one in, one out. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm not trying to be wasteful and just like, you know, getting rid, just like chucking stuff out, right? But it's like some of this has been in my collection for such a long time and I'm not using it, or some of it I do have the potential to send it along to a friend, to a family member, to another creator that I think that will get some use out of it if it's something that I feel like is proper to send along to someone. One of the things that I think is really valuable with this is now like going through my collection and looking, it's like, I had to go through my entire collection to see what I have. And it's like, ooh, forgot about this. Oh, forgot about that. Wow, that's really nice. Wouldn't want to get rid of that. And so now it's like, okay, well, if you don't want to get rid of anything, then you don't need to get anything for a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like keeps me honest with myself. It's like, all right, Kelly, like you have all the things. So let's just stop right now. Let's just stop for a while. And I do think that I'm going to really try to slow down for a while. Now we are coming up into September. September is my birthday month. So I don't want to say I'm going to do a no buy in my birthday month. Not that I'm planning on like going wild with myself, but I do want to sort of keep that open. But I really do want to be very mindful on the purchases that I make over the next couple months, because I have gotten so many lovely things that it's time, you know, again, to enjoy those things. And I think that I kind of do this. Let me know if you're like this, where it's like purchase. And then I like sort of like hold back a little bit, have fun with the things that I get. And then I tend to like do another big purchase and then like kind of like let that trickle back down. So that just seems to be the way that I do things. If it's good or bad, I don't know, but at least I sort of recognize that in myself. So I think that it's time to just do like a little like slow down and enjoy the things that I have. I do have some things on my wish list, some things that I'm thinking about getting soon. But I'm, you know, really kind of like, I've been sitting on those for a while. Like, is that something that I really want? So maybe we'll see those things coming up soon. I have also been very good about using up some of the things I have. Skincare, some pan. I mean, I've been hitting some pan, y'all, and that doesn't happen to me very much. So tubes are getting emptied, pans are being hit. It is a success story over here for the most part. So I am just gonna give myself a little pat on the back for that. All right, thank you for sticking around through this. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you tend to like cull the herd, so to speak, if you are bringing new products into your life? I hope you all have a wonderful end of summer. I'm actually thinking right now, as I'm like looking at all of this, I think I might take some time to do a summer, like end of summer shop my stash, because as I'm going through my drawers, they're just these beautiful, delicious summer colors, like end of summer colors. You know, some of my deeper bronzers, some of my brightest blush colors, some of the things like that that I just haven't been reaching for. And we are into week 2 of August. So I feel like August into September is going to be the time to use those things. And there's no better way than to get it sitting right out here on my vanity. So maybe I will do that right now. So stay tuned for that one. Don't forget to subscribe if you did enjoy, and if you want to see upcoming content from me. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it with me. I will see you really soon.